Hello Virgo Dreamers, welcome back to the Mystic Hawk YouTube channel. And if you noticed in the intro, yes, crystals are available for sale on the mystichawk.com, or you can go to my Etsy store and buy them there. And as a matter of fact, on the mystichawk.com, you can also connect up with my other YouTube channel, Mystic Hawk Crystals, where I show videos of how to clean crystals, got some backyard birds up, more stuff to come on that, and my TikTok videos where I have my homie Nomi and I get to be a little bit more irreverent in those readings. So, okay, Virgo, one of the things about the crystals, I go and dig those specifically for light workers and healers, and I do. When I go out there, it's from Mother Earth to my hands to yours. So I make sure that I really look at them and look at all the attributes and qualities. And I pick those for light workers and healers. They may or may not be perfect, but as far as the energy and the power that they have, they are perfect for their particular task. So that aside, this is in honor of us going into the North Node in Taurus. We just shifted gears out of the North Node in Gemini, all that mutable, chaotic communication and energy and all these thoughts running around. Now they get to be grounded. Some of those thoughts landed on fertile ground. Those ideas that were swirling around in your head for the last 18 months are now going to be planted in the fertile ground of the North Node in Taurus, and so they can begin to sprout and grow over these next 18 months. South Node has gone into Scorpio from Sagittarius, so it's going to be some heavy processing energy, maybe a little bit of shadow work there in that particular house for you. So Virgo, how is this affecting you guys? Well, it's hitting you in your 9th house. That's the North Node in Taurus would be your 9th house, Virgo, especially if you're Virgo rising. So these videos are predominantly for rising signs. So if you have something else other than Virgo rising, check that video out. But this is great for Virgo sun too, because you'll find little gems in all of these. So this is really a shift in gears from what you were experiencing over these last 18 months. These last 18 months, a lot of time to think, right? A lot of time to sit around and think, and a lot of the issues of early childhood come up, in particular the 10th and the 4th house. The 10th house was the destiny house, to where the direction to go to. And that is career, reputation. It is also the house of the father. And if there wasn't a father around for whatever reason, this would be the dominant parent in your life. The one that taught you about career and how to do things, how to fix things, how to navigate your world in that particular way. Encouraging you to go on, get out, fly, little birdie, fly. It's also about your contribution to your society, and this is all around power and influence. This is, again, the house of maturity, so that would be where your destiny lied. I don't know what your relationship with your father, your dominant parent was like. That's not what we're talking about. This is like making those mature moves of going from just having a job to actually a career. And maturing in your own self, your reputation in the world, and how you contribute to society. It can mean a lot of different things. If you focused on any of those, you are focusing on your North Node. Now, the South Node that has just moved into Scorpio was in Sagittarius. That was hitting your 4th house of home and family. So there was a lot of issues, and that was what was leaving. That was what needed to be purged. And I would say these were the mommy issues, because both mommy and daddy issues. And I'm not saying that you've had any. We all have some to some degree, but around all of these old belief systems. That South Node in Sagittarius was triggering all these old belief systems that no longer work for you, and their origins were in the family, okay? And if you had issues with these belief systems, you had issues with your parents at some point somewhere. Okay, so we'll put it that way. And of course, the mother, if you didn't have a mother around, or if you had a single mom that had to be the dominant parent, the mother may have been more the grandmother or an aunt or somebody like that. Okay, so it's a nurturing parent, the one that always wants to keep you at home and keep you comfortable, make sure you eat, got everything you need, all that kind of thing, especially if that means you're going to stay closer to them. Because mom doesn't want the babies to fly the nest, right? And dad's like, come on, let's go. So the 10th house was encouraging you toward maturity, and the mom would like, oh, I'll keep you a baby forever. So again, that had to be purged out so that you could move more toward your destiny, which would be, where, your status in the world. So now with this shift in gears, you've moved into the 9th house, because the moon's nodes actually move backwards. So you moved into the 9th house of study, higher education. That's the Sagittarius house. So Sagittarius and Jupiter rule this house. Spirituality, religion, your ideology, your worldview. And now that got shaken up and changed for all of us with the South Node in Sagittarius that just left the building. That Elvis left the building, thank God, right? So we all have a new worldview, and especially you, Virgo. That might, and something might have happened with your career. Your career might have went out the window with all the pandemic and everything that happened, or, just the different things. You can't do what you used to do for whatever reason. And that requires perhaps you to go and get some further knowledge, whether that means to go to an actual college or university, a trade school, take classes here and there, learn on your own somehow, get your own books, but it is all going to be focused on study, higher education. It might require some long distance travel. Some of you may go study abroad, or travel somewhere to learn something new, especially if it has to do with spirituality and religion. Really, a lot of energy. Jupiter's about to go into Pisces, which is going to be your opposing house, is all about spirituality and religion. So, of course, it's going to be a challenge and opposition. And you're going to have some squares up in there too. The good news is that Taurus trines you, so you're going to have some good luck in there. But it will be challenging, and I think it's just because it's going to be so new and so different, having to learn a new way of thinking. And that moves into your South Node, where Scorpio rules for you, is the 3rd house, and that's your communication, your siblings, technology, transportation, maybe change up in the local environment. That's moving away from home, moving away from mother like you just did. And perhaps siblings are going to come into play more than the parents did. Could be relationships with your siblings and cousins and friends from like school that were like brothers and sisters, that kind of situation. Those relationships change up, and they often do when we go to college. So you see how these are the phases of life. So it's now you just left home, you graduated high school, left home, time to go to college and learn a new way of communicating, learn new technology, discover all these different forms of transportation. It might be you lived out in a farm and you only drove the old truck around, to go to town. But now you're in a big city, so you're having to learn to deal with trains and buses and all kinds of different, Ubers and stuff like that, different kinds of transportation. Or it's vice versa, you're having to learn to drive after you never had to. That kind of situation. The world will be opening up so that you may be actually able to go travel farther and longer distances in the world. So there that is. Now another thing that the North Node is going to bring into you as a possibility, and if this is a different stage in your life and you've already been through one marriage, perhaps your kids have even left the house, and you're and you wanting to change careers after doing something for a very long time, and this you've been through one marriage or one life partner. For whatever reason, that didn't work out for you. Now this might be a time of meeting somebody, having a second life partner or second marriage, and that person may open up a whole new area, all of this study, the spirituality and religion for you. in addition to maybe you will move to go be with them, or they will take you to different places. So that's also a possibility, because there's a lot of this Venus energy. Venus, Mars are going to be conjuncting up. So, there is romance in the air, change up in all kind of relationships. If you've been in one, might get out of one, vice versa, that kind of situation. So let's take a look at the cards that we have on the table. These are from the Ancestors Medicine cards and the Ancestor Speaks card. Got one for each node. So what I have for you in the North Node, Virgo, is the Bear. And I'm just, being a little paranoid here because Mercury's been retrograde and messing up all my recordings. Yep, we still have sound. Excellent. Okay, the Bear card in the medicine cards, it represents the West. And the West is introspection. So again, Virgo, very hermity. So this will be hermity times. Now I'm going to tell you, I just came out of this transition personally. So let's just say that we meet each other at the train station, and I'm getting ready to get on the money train, which is the 8th in the 2nd house, and you're getting ready to get on the 9th in the 3rd train. So we're switching off trains at train station, but there's a layover, so we have a chance to talk. And I'm all raggedy because that is not the most glamorous progression to go through. When we go to college and all that, it's not a lot of money involved. You get enough to survive, but it's all about the study and the focus. And we meet all kind of wild and weird people when we're out in the world, discovering the world, or going to college. You came from the farm, and all of a sudden you're in a big city with people from all over. And some of them was like, who is that? What is that? You get lots of different quick, fast communications, people coming and going, maybe not staying for very long, that 3rd house. Oof. But there may be one or two that stick around. One of them might be that sticks in your mind when it comes around to your 8th and 2nd house, might be that partner. Okay. Because oftentimes people do meet people in college, but your first romance was in high school, right? But then okay, you got it. So now, but then there's going to be this, you're going to be like the hermit with all your books around you and really into studying. And then for the South Node, that communication and absolute transformation is going to happen in how you communicate to the world, really. You're coming out of, again, Gemini is a really young energy. So you're maturing a whole lot in your communication, these studies, and perhaps if you are at the university and you're learning new technology and stuff, learning all these new ways to communicate with other people, or learning to use technology that you've grown up with, especially if you're going to college now, you've grown up with computers and phones and stuff in your hands, but learning to put all that together and really make it work a lot better for you. Again, however, it is, again, in verbal communication, how you communicate with yourself and with other people, that will also transform. And, I'm here to say, yes, I had to go through a hermit mode where I even had to get out of the public eye for a while. Because my communication style, which, this is very 3rd house, being in front of a computer with all this technology talking to the world. So, see, that kind of thing. You may transition in doing your own YouTube channel or podcast or something where you're learning to communicate on a much broader scale. Because of how this education has expanded you. Now we're moving into the awakening of your inner shaman, which goes really great with that 9th house, spirituality, religion, really connecting to invoke some healing within you. After going through these family issues, it's time to throw it into the fire and release it. As you notice, he has thrown something into the fire. Those sparks are going up to release, send it off, and release that old cycle to spirit. And have the courage, just like these warriors, these Kenyan warriors here, have the courage to leave mama's house, leave your local environment, leave your comfort zone, and go and try something new. Go study something new. Go have an adventure. And even if you can't physically travel to have the adventure, studying these new courses or doing these new things, learning all these new things, that's an adventure within itself. So, okay, my tarot cards. I guess we're going to use these for Virgo as well. I call these my flip-flop cards in the Libra reading. Okay, right away we have the Chariot card, and we have the reverse side of that. I feel like that's the view that everybody's going to have of you, Virgo. See ya, wouldn't want to be ya. Definitely this is travel. And again, if you're not able to really physically get up and travel, that is finally feeling like you're moving forward. Finally feeling like your wheels aren't spilling out anymore. You're able to get some traction and move forward. And interestingly enough, look how everything is disappearing. Like the road appears in front of him and just disappears, and there becomes the void behind him. And I believe that's that South Node in Sagittarius. All of that old stuff, like finally leaving the old home stuff behind and moving into the future, leaving the past behind and moving into the future, and looking forward instead of backwards. Okay, the charioteer is not looking back. I do not want to turn to salt. Don't look back. Right? Okay, that's that card. Don't look back, Virgo. Keep moving forward. You don't want to see. You don't want to know. Sometimes we just don't want to know everything. But again, that awakening, the inner shaman, here he is. He's going to learn how to manifest and create in a whole new realm and a whole new reality. And it's going to be weird for a while. It's going to be challenging. It's not going to be comfortable. Destiny never is. I forgot to get the quantum field card out for you guys. I made this card up. And let's consider all these the potential future selves. The North Node does represent our future, so you want to be up here in the top tiers. These are all your potential futures. There's so many of them out there, and to activate them is to send energy to it. So send energy to whatever future that you want to travel to, and that's the one that will communicate back to you. So let me give you an example. Right now I'm going to remember myself to yesterday when I was first starting getting all these video readings done. And I was feeling like, oh my God, I'm never going to finish. I've been trying to do this for days, and the technology's been driving me crazy. And here I am, the future self saying, keep going, don't give up. It's all going to work out. That's something simple, but that is, do it this way. Use the iPhone instead of the old camera. That will work with the computer. Hey, I learned something new communications, right? Okay, you got it. So pick one of those up there, and that future self will remember back to you and give you messages on how to get back to your area. But you definitely need to focus on that 9th house for you, Virgo. All right. So that's what he's doing. He is being guided by one of these higher vibrational parts of you in the future. One of your future selves. That's what's pulling him along. And that is his navigation system, that and higher self. And of course the guides and all that stuff. The angels come along and help us out every once in a while. It's really our own higher selves that do most of the work. Let's see if anything falls out. I like it better when they fall out. It's surprising that Uranus and Taurus, there's going to be a lot of surprises on these studies and these travels and higher education. And, if you're in the land of the inner shaman, woo, let me tell you, that's a surprising world right there. Here we go. I'm cutting to the left. Yes, a lot of feminine energy being on the receptive side. And we have the 9 of Cups from the flip side. So he's looking at all his cups, feeling very satisfied. So you're going to get some kind of wish fulfillment. Looks like the backside of the King of Cups. Don't know if you're dealing with a Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. We have a Cancer strong over here. Cancer also is the house of the mother, so it's a possibility that your mother could be helping you out with this situation, helping you to move somewhere, to go back to school, some kind of support in that area, or left you some money to go to school, whatever the situation. Could be an inheritance, but really, again, I feel like, it could be a Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces that you're going to be dealing with. But really, I feel like that's you using that masculine, intuitive, let's go learn about this spirituality. This could be like really Piscean energy too, which would be that spiritual studies and that really deep stuff coming up. We have the Ace of Wands, the 6 of Cups, Ooh, the backside of Libra. Let me get it out. We're just going to be orderly for Virgo here. This is what it's asking me to do. Sometimes, for some signs, they like to go flying out, but this is how it wanted to be. So, definitely a new creative beginning, getting some flashes of insight, some fresh ideas, whatever this new study, this new education, it's really exciting. This idea, opportunity, whatever may have come to you from a friend from a past. That's the Six of Cups, and that is friendship. It could be like an old love from the past, but somebody that you have known from the past, maybe just come breezing through town for a little bit, dropped a little bit of wisdom on you and gave you an idea. Oh yeah, it's time to go back to school. The situation, it's not right. There's no truth. There's no justice here. It could be your work situation, the old career. It's time to let old Amut loose, to go and eat up the hearts of the unclean. That's the backside of Libra. When Libra finally gets enough, it's like, I'm throwing my scales down, I'm throwing my sword down, let the demon out to eat everybody. I done had enough. I'm going on a break. The Lady Justice does not have she's very, very patient until she's not. So, it could be that you have been dealing with a Libra. This could be a Libra that you met up from a past. But what I really feel is you're you're moving away from this injustice, putting that in your rear view mirror and not staying in the injustice of the past, because maybe you finally discovered that that's what was holding you back, and we got to do things a different way now. This movement forward is the Ace of Cups. It feels like a whole new beginning, new love. Might be that you're moving toward love, but I feel like it's something that you love to do, something that you truly value. Again, and this is in the house, the North Node in Taurus. So it's what do you value, and something that you truly value that you're getting out of this, maybe even beyond money. It's an emotional renewal. And this is after you've had to have a little battle. You may have had to stand up for what you wanted in order to get what you wished. There were other people that poo-pooed the idea, or maybe didn't like the idea so much, but you stood your ground, even though, you're not exactly on high ground. You're just a little bit above the competition or whatever, but it was just enough to make sure to have them lay down their wands and walk away. And now you are making plans for the future, Virgo. You're visualizing it. This is what, perhaps that's the travel where you're going to move to. You're looking at different places. You haven't decided yet. There's probably a decision between 2 different places, 2 different schools, places that you want to go, to travel, to investigate. We have here, right under the Ace of Wands, there is the reverse, the backside of the sun. And I always find this really interesting. See, there's the front side, and it looks like the regular sun card until you look at this side and realize, is that a backdrop somebody painted, and this kid is just standing in front of this fake sunflower field with this horse? And then you flip it around and they're in jail. They're like in a prison. It's like a prison tower, and the guards are looking in. So what may have seemed sunny at one point in time has become a prison. Again, I just heard all of this inner child stuff perhaps has gotten you in a prison. Again, staying in the past will keep you from moving forward into the future. Staying at mom's house, or even in the mindset of a place of safety, like the nurturing parent would give you, feels actually more like a prison. There was a lot of moon energy there, a lot of secrets, a lot of hidden stuff, things that were beneath the surface that, that of course the South Node in Scorpio is going to be really digging out, and it's going to be communicated in your case. So there's going to be some communication of this South Node in Scorpio really bringing things up through your 3rd house, and you're able to give voice to them. And it might just be your own deepest desires. May or may not be anything like it really ucky. It could be, whatever it is for you. but it also brings your deepest desires of what you truly want. You're starting to really listen to what that is. And that brings you to a Three of Cups situation, which I feel in your case, entering into a whole new community, way of communication, community. See where that's going with that. So just a whole new avenue opening up. Also new groups of friends. This could go back to maybe there had been some injustice with friends in the past. And a lot of that's changed up. A lot of us have been through changes. You know, the last, you know, when we went through Gemini, Sagittarius nodes, that really, the last few years, has created quite a bit of division. So you may find yourself with a whole new group of friends as well. But it is going to require you working with others. You're going to be in hermit mode. But there's also going to be a need for communication. So you can't totally hide, sorry. Any more for Virgo, Sun, Moon, and Rising? Where are we at here? About right. Is that about how many I did? Okay, we got the Lover's card. Now that could be that you're going to be meeting somebody. We got this Chariot card, racing off somewhere in the distance. I don't know if it's long distance or close distance, but going to sea. Going to meet up with somebody. That could be, again, you hooking up, and when you meet somebody, you move to where they're at. They may be at a distance from you. There's some traveling involved, but again, the Lover's card always represents choice. And these jumped out. I'm just going to see what they are. Yeah, you know, you've been working hard, you know. Again, I think that's with the career house, that what changed was you don't want to break your back at the job that you're working at. It is time to do something new, not always be the beast of burden or the one that said, oh, Virgo will do it. Virgo always takes care of this. They show up to work all the time. They work really hard. They do the job of 3 people. You know, you don't want it to be set in stone that you're that person. And I think that's what you just transformed out of. Okay, so then we have the Six of Pentacles. That may be a new job, or again, somebody giving you a loan or some kind of inheritance, getting some kind of wish or blessing so that you can go move or to get some kind of education. Again, you may not be able to go back to the job that you were at, and it's going to be a little daunting. You know, you're really going to have to hang in there and use those mental skills to, you know, to their full capacity. It's going to take all that brain power, but it will get you to that Ten of Cups situation, opening up to that new spirituality, that new learning. And the Ten of Cups, a lot of people just see it as, you know, love and marriage. Yes, some of you may get married, but that may not be the actual thing. That Ten of Cups could be that community. There's going to be people that go to cities and people that get together more in a community kind of sense. This Three of Cups, Ten of Cups, that's what it makes me think of. Oh, Mercury retrograde, slow down. So yeah, more community-minded, focusing on that aspect. One more card, please, for Virgo, and then we'll get into it. Well, the readings are running a little longer today, but I feel like I have more to say today. Communication. I'm just really talking. So, okay, Virgo. I digress. You got 2 cards, yes. You're definitely walking away from some old situation and leaving it in the past. I see that. Leaving the lies, the cheats, the thieves, you know, that whole environment where you just really didn't feel like you could trust the people around you. Again, I see that with that reverse Libra card and betrayal. Some of you are actually literally physically moving, and some of you are just moving away in the mind, getting out of that mindset, because the swords are mental. Okay, they represent the mental state, mind, thinking. Okay, some romance cards for Virgo, Sun, Moon, and Rising, please, for this transit. And what a long transit it is. Let me remind you, 18 months. So this may have already happened. It may not happen for a while. It just depends on the degrees and and all the rest of your chart. That would be an individual thing. Are we going to have anything come out for Virgo, please? Oh, hiding from love. Are we Virgo? There we go. New love. Uh-oh, look out. There's new love on the horizon. A new person has stirred your romantic feelings. You ready to get in the car and go see them, huh? Gonna go travel, get on the airplane, get on the car, planes, trains, and automobiles, what I heard. All this transportation, whatever it takes, maybe all of the above. Fly there, get a train, or rent a car, you know. Okay, we got 2 more. You got a bonus. You gotta make the effort. That's what it is. You gotta put some effort into it, because there's definitely an attraction here. So you attract the romantic love by enjoying this moment fully. So being fully involved in your studies and what you're doing. But you also have to make the effort and put yourself out there. You can't just sit at home and wait for this person to show up. That person is out there in the world, somewhere in that 9th house world. And it's time for you to go out there and find what that is. And if it's not a new love you're looking for, it would be these new adventures, this new learning, and these new experiences, leaving the past behind and looking forward, Virgo. All right, congratulations. And thank you for riding with me for this far in the reading, and liking, sharing, subscribing, all that wonderful stuff. I really do appreciate you guys supporting my channel. So sweet dreams, Virgo. Keep dreaming, dreamers. Something just popped up on my screen and totally like, what? Okay, so all right, thank you. Until next time, I'll see you then. Bye now.